Happy Friday, everybody. Dr. Gaynor here, doing a live. So today, I want to talk to you about what we have going on that I do hope will help you, your mental health and your overall wellness during this holiday season. And I also want to be here to answer any questions you may have about mental health, stress, coping. So I'm opening it up to answer your questions. So ask me whatever you would like. I will be here for a few minutes. So the first thing I want to talk about is an upcoming webinar that I have on December 6th, and it's called How to Be Okay with Not Being Okay. So the premise is that holidays and celebrations are often supposed to be exciting, and we're supposed to be happy and look forward to celebrating. But the truth is that's not always what happens. What can tend to happen is we can feel sad, we can feel disappointed, we can feel disconnected, we can feel fearful. And there's many different reasons for that. So let's just take 2020 for an example. This has been a topsy-turvy year. This has been a year of a lot of firsts for us, having to be socially isolated and people having economic troubles and health concerns and just fears about your safety and what's going on with the world. There's been a lot of political unrest. There has been a lot. And if we just take out 2020, there can still be times where you're supposed to be happy, but you don't feel that way. And I have certainly had that experience. And so on December 6th at 4 p.m. Eastern, I am doing a webinar called How to Be Okay with Not Being Okay. And what I want to do is talk about the common emotions we have that maybe we don't talk about the expectations that people may tend to put on us that may not be fair. And most importantly, how do we deal with those emotions and how do we deal with those situations? So how do we navigate through these difficult times so that we can be okay, so that we can cope, so that we can feel better, so that we don't feel guilty? So December 6th at 4 p.m. Eastern, how to be okay with not being okay. And so if it would be something that would be helpful to you, please feel free to click the link in our bio and join. If you know someone who it may be helpful for, please let them know too. Please share this information with everyone who you can. I think that this is an essential time, especially during a time now where we're not able to connect with our loved ones, where we may need an extra support. So December 6th, 4 p.m. Eastern, how to be okay with not being okay. So again, I am here. If you have any questions or anything I can answer for you, please feel free to ask. You can put the comments down in the bottom of the live and I will be happy to answer them for you. It's interesting. The idea of this webinar I've had for a few years, but I have actually recently had a time where I was a little disappointed when it came to the holidays. I was supposed to go to visit my family up north. And with everything going on and with the increase in COVID, I decided not to. And that has been pretty sad. And so knowing that it's okay and also being able to support other people and knowing that we're all in this together is really important. So one of the things I think that's also good is that finding a time or something to be happy about during this time. So I know that there are a lot of channels that play holiday movies. People have different interests in holiday movies. I love cheesy holiday movies. I love romantic comedies. And so one of my favorite holiday movies is Love Actually. I don't know if you guys have seen it. And it's the story of It's about love, and it's about different ways that people find love, whether in friendships or romantically, and how it all kind of merges together. So one of my favorite holiday traditions is just watching a really fun movie. I love that movie because of the way they all tend to connect. There's a lot of different characters, but at the end, they all connect, and just how the stories intertwine, and just at the end, how beautiful it is that they find love in just different ways. And my hope for all of you is that you will feel love and experience love during this holiday season, whether you're close to your loved ones or not. So the other thing I wanted to do is we did have a question from last week, so I wanted to go on and read that question. So the question is, how do you convince someone that therapy is the way to go? How do you convince someone that therapy is the way to go? I think it's difficult. Convincing is challenging because a lot of times when you feel like you have to convince someone, the chips are already stacked against you because it's probably someone who may be pretty stubborn, someone who is not really willing to be on board with whatever you're suggesting. So again, the question is, how do you convince someone that therapy is the way to go? I don't know that you can convince someone, but you talk to them about why it's important. Another thing that usually helps people to be open to your suggestions is if it's something that you have been a part of before. And so a lot of times we tend to connect to people who have experiences that we do because we feel like they understand, they can connect with us, they get how we're feeling. So it would be probably difficult for me to tell someone you should go to therapy if I've never been to therapy, even being a psychologist who does therapy. But because I have been in therapy personally, I also know the other side of it. So I know what it's like to be on the other side, to get the help you need, to have to be totally open and honest and vulnerable, and what it's like to not be and not get the help that you need. So maybe it's about talking to the person about why you think therapy will be good, and then talking to them about people who've had experiences. A lot of times, especially when it comes to therapy, there's such a huge stigma about what it will be like, what it will look like. Does it mean that I'm crazy? Are they going to try to give me medication? Are we just talking for an hour? There are a lot of misconceptions that people don't know. I think a lot of that is due to media and what we see on movies and how it's sensationalized. And so if you can connect that person with someone who has been in therapy, been through therapy, is a therapist, where they can ask those questions and really help to understand what it is, and also maybe help ease some of the fears of maybe some of the misconceptions they have, then I think that that would be a way to help someone want to go to therapy. But again, the question is, how do you convince someone that therapy is the way to go? I don't think you can convince them by having the conversation and maybe connecting them to someone who can demystify some of their fears or some of their concerns would be my suggestion. So again, I am here because I want to be able to answer any questions that you guys have about mental health, stress, coping, excuse me. And I also want to let you know about my upcoming webinar. It is called How to Be Okay with Not Being Okay. December 6th at 4 p.m. Eastern. It is virtual, of course. How to be okay with not being okay really came out of the idea that when there are celebrations, holidays especially, we feel a need to be excited, to be joyful, that we should be happy about these situations when we're not always. And there can be a lot of different reasons for that. But the point is that a lot of times we tend to feel guilty, or we're made to feel guilty because we're not excited. We may push through and participate in things or be a part of things that we don't feel like because we're going through whatever difficulties we're going through. In 2020, we have all been a part of this global pandemic, this longest, shortest year, where people have had health concerns and economic struggles and isolation, social isolation. We are social beings and we're not able to be with the people that we love. And so I want to help you to accept the fact that it's okay not to be happy during the times that we should be. And then how do we work through those emotions, and how do we deal with those situations? And then with the people who we may have to confront in these different situations or have these hard conversations with. So if you know anyone who would benefit, anyone who maybe needs some extra support during the holidays, during these times, just in general, where maybe they hold their feelings in and they don't feel like it's okay to express, or they kind of suck it up and push through, or maybe even they're frustrated and they're angry, and you know that there's something behind that, please feel free to pass this on. Pass this on to anyone who could benefit. I would love for you guys to join me, but most of all, I want to provide the support that you need during this time, knowing that things can be challenging. And let's make sure that we take care of our mental health because it's really, really important. So I also want to tell you about some resources we have on our website. So peaceofmindpsychology.com is the website, Peace of Mind Psychology, PEACE. And we have a lot of blogs that are helpful and that actually talk to one of these. well, to this issue specifically. And so we have one that's talking about Happy Holidays, Maybe is what it's entitled. And it's by one of our therapists, LaTanya Bell. And it's just about sometimes holidays are not the happiest times, and how do you deal with the stress of that? She really gives some practical life hacks on how to deal with the stress of holidays not being as happy as we wish that they would, and being okay with that. And how much more appropriate is that during this time? No better time for that to be appropriate than now, when we're not able to connect with the people that we love. And I also wrote a blog that's called Thankfulness: What Happens If You Aren't Thankful? So again, really talking about those things that maybe we may not recognize, but it can be very challenging to be happy or be excited when you don't feel thankful, when you have difficulties in life or economic struggles, when things aren't going the way that you wish that they would. So the point of all of this is that it's okay. And I would love for you to visit our site, go to blogs, and we really have some helpful tools that can help you deal with whatever you're experiencing. So I wanted to give you guys a few more minutes if you have any questions. But again, I just want you to know that we are here to support you. So again, I am doing a webinar December 6th, 4 p.m., How to Be Okay with Not Being Okay. The title is pretty self-explanatory. I want to help you to deal with the times that are difficult, that maybe you feel guilty about because you feel like you should be excited. But it's okay to feel exactly how you feel. It's okay to feel exactly how you feel. I'm going to say that again. It's okay to feel exactly how you feel. So I look forward to supporting you in that. And please visit our website again, peaceofmindpsychology.com. Visit our blogs. I hope to see you virtually on December 6th for How to Be Okay with Not Being Okay. Please pass this on to anyone who could benefit. And happy Friday. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining me. If you're watching this later, I appreciate it. And I hope that some of this was really helpful to you for whatever you need. I hope you guys are doing well. Take care.